Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Bits and Bytes Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Lozada. I'm joined again with Lindsay Schubert.
Hello.
And Tim Ronan.
Hi.
How are you doing? How are you guys doing today?
Adequate.
I'm good.
That about describes me too, adequate. It's been a long week for me. I don't know about you guys, just long work week. I feel like my existence is just bearing down on me. Anyway, before I get depressing, let's move on to some news. Before we go on to news, I just wanted to say we're gonna outline the games that we're thankful for this week. But before we do that, let's move on to news. Tim, how about you start us off with the news story that intrigued your interest the most this week?
Okay. Well, as most will probably know, BlizzCon happened. And as most will also probably know, there was a bit of a controversy that came out of it.
Just a little bit.
I don't... I think it might have been towards the end of the event. I'm not sure, but they were announcing a new Diablo game, and a lot of people have been hoping for the continuation from Diablo 3, which was PC franchise. So some devs came out, they were building it up, and then it turned out to be Diablo Immortals, which is going to be a mobile game, and accordingly they don't have any plans to put it on PC, which understandably annoyed a lot the people who were attending, to the point where they actually wound up at one point booing the devs on stage because they were touting this game, and it just wasn't what people wanted or expected, or at least a lot of people weren't expecting.
No, in regards to the blog, like, it was basically kind of building up to, the future of Diablo, and it was kind of like this big thing, and then it kind of didn't pan out, and in actuality, it went in the opposite direction, right? Where it's kind of, everyone was hyped up for this thing, and then it went in the opposite direction, and it was a mobile game, it wasn't PC centric at all. I understand both sides of the coin there, because it's kind of like the developers kind of, where else were they going to present this game? Like, it was made for Diablo fans, clearly, but at the same time, Diablo fans are just PC players. That's all they play on is PC predominantly. Diablo 3 is also on consoles, obviously, but like, that's a very small part of that player base. So I totally understand both sides of the coin there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, understandably, people are probably concerned. Like even things like the quality of the game, or maybe it'll be literally just ruined by like microtransactions, which a big thing these days. And they, I mean, do you think that's the main problem? The threat of microtransactions?
I think so. I think it's just like, because mobile games are so, microtransaction heavy. This will probably be like free to play, right? It probably won't, just because the mobile,
could be.
the mobile, what's the mobile model that popular, developers use nowadays. It's not like you pay an upfront fee. Nintendo tried to do this with Super Mario Run, right? They try to do like, you pay X amount of money and then you unlock everything from the get-go. And guess what? Super Mario Run didn't make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So this microtransaction thing it's almost like a given, unfortunately. And I think that's probably why people just associate it with it not being something that they would play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And kind of like Blizzard being greedy. I totally understand that. Totally. Because I've played mobile games before. I know that they're microtransaction heavy. You know, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, I think this was the end of BlizzCon, which I've been hearing that, you know, maybe that was a mistake, because generally you want to save your like big ticket items for the end. And with that kind of in mind, you know, this build up to like this serious thing turning out to not be so great at the very end of the con. Maybe they should have put this like towards the beginning.
Yeah.
Not build it up to be like this. What's behind the curtain? It's this thing that you should be excited about, but you're not.
Right. From what I read online, it was supposed to be that, and then it was supposed to be Diablo 4, like a little tease for Diablo 4. But then Blizzard said something behind the scenes weeks or months before. They were kind of like, listen, Diablo 4 is still very much in development. We still don't really we haven't nailed down like a solid concept for this yet. So instead of like teasing it, let's just pull it for now, and then we'll save it for like next BlizzCon. I don't know if they said next BlizzCon or something, but like they were like, let's just pull it for now because we don't have like a solid brand image in place yet for the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess they didn't want to commit to anything, basically. That's why they decided to pull it. But it is a little weird for like a multi-million-dollar company to kind of screw this up, because they should have known. I'm not gonna give them a free pass on this one. They should have known. You know that they're the vast majority of their player base is PC centric, and PC players don't necessarily like mobile gaming. Like, that's just those two things don't go hand in hand. You know, they should have known, in my opinion. But now they're kind of facing the consequences of that, and I mean, they know for the future, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like, personally, I like mobile games. It really depends how the company deals with it, though. Like, I was really into Pokemon Go, for instance, at first, and then Niantic was kind of being shit about it. They were negligent to the fan base. Like, you know, forever we were waiting for trading, and then it's like 2 years later, and it's like, oh yeah, finally trading. And I just kind of went away from the game by that point. Because not only that, you also have to, you have to travel from one place to another, like however many miles, probably. Like, I have to walk miles because I'm in Florida to get like anywhere, whether it's for raids or whatever. And it could be really irritating. And for something like Super Mario Run, that one wasn't handled well because, for one, it's completely online, so whenever you're playing the game, most of the time it'll lag. And
jeez.
In a platformer, you cannot have lag.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That really sucks.
Like, come on now. So I stopped playing the game for that reason. I'm like, this isn't a game anymore.
Right. Yeah. No, that's very understandable.
This is just a stressful, like, fucking app for me. It's not contributing anything positive to me. So the one game that is working for me that Nintendo did release, actually this time last year, is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Because you actually have that, risk-reward system. You can use leaf tickets to buy things that are very rare, that only come around like every few months or so.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can get like Tom Nook at your campsite for 250 Leaf tickets. You get other characters that are like Tom Nook at your campsite for that much. And I think it's really cool.
So they created like an ecosystem, basically.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it all works. The game has definitely died down a lot since a year ago, but and I even stopped playing it around like Christmas time last year because I was in the middle of an internship and I gotten upset because I couldn't get the rest of like the candy canes to claim more items. I didn't have time for it, so I just uninstalled the app because I was so upset.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I was like, well, I guess I can't 100% it now.
Oh, I see. Yeah, just frustrated you.
It's a huge 100% game for me. I love being a completionist.
Yeah.
It's all about that for me. And I love Animal Crossing as it is. Like, it's a huge relief off of Animal Crossing New Leaf from the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I completed that game. I didn't understand it because it's so huge. But while waiting for the one coming in like 2019, it's nice to have this game in the meantime.
Something in between, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, moving on to your news topic, Lindsay. What did you choose for this week?
Okay, so I had just recently posted this on my Facebook. So there's a new game called Pagan Online. It is a mix between League of Legends and Diablo. It's so that's let me see the full is like the full name for the game, what it would be. Like it's a MOBA RPG and something else. Action RPG crossed with a MOBA, inspired by Christian mythology.
MOBAs.
It sounds really cool. It's coming on PC in 2019. You can register for pre-launch tests, trials, and such from this official site. I found this article via PC Gamer.
So, it's a MOBA, you said, right?
Yeah, it's a MOBA. It's also an RPG.
That's interesting. Releasing a MOBA in 2019. I thought those were kind of
a new MOBA.
Yeah, a new MOBA. I thought those kind of like went away, right? Because like, no, I'm serious. Like with the advent of battle royale games, I kind of like people started flocking to those, right? Yeah. And like they kind of left MOBA games in the dust. I hope it does well. Maybe
a MOBA battle royale game.
Whoa, whoa. Oh, I can't even wrap my head around that, to be honest. It sounds so complicated.
The new meta.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh my God. Wow. It gets me a headache just thinking
like
how.
It's a MOBA taking on the Christian mythology concept. So I think that will be cool. We have something new coming. So
that's interesting. It's interesting. It's based off of some aspect of established mythology. That it's cool.
Yeah, it's not the same thing as like Heroes of the Storm or League of Legends, where you would just like have the heroes and such. This will be
kind of more based in established
the myths and
mythology.
Such.
That's cool.
And we're not talking about Zeus.
Yeah. Right. That's cool. I'm looking to see if that does well. I'm interested in see that to see if that does well.
Yeah.
My news topic for the week was I was going to talk about Final Fantasy 15 and what the hell just happened with that game. If for those that don't know, basically the director of the game left the company, Square Enix, on Halloween on October 31st, and there are basically 4 DLC projects planned in addition to like more content for the PC and etc. etc. Almost all of them are canceled. There's only one that's going to come out now, and it's based off of the main villain, Arden. And just the whole shit show all around, to be quite honest. The multiplayer expansion is going to get a standalone release now for some reason. It seems like the team that worked on Final Fantasy 15 is working on Final Fantasy 16 right now, which I guess is kind of exciting, but we're not going to see that game until like years from now. So I don't know. It's just, I think it's more bad news than good, just because Tabata left and he's like responsible for a lot of really good games, JRPGs. So I don't know. It's more of a loss for the JRPG community than a gain, in my opinion. Have you guys played Final Fantasy 15?
I personally have not played it. I've seen other people play it, and of course, being attracted to males, I'm one of those people who loved the memes with the characters driving in like the convertible or whatever.
Oh yeah, with Noctis and all the other ones. Yeah. They actually have DLC. They've made DLC episodes for each of the side characters, for each of the bros. So Ignis, Gladiolus, and Prompto. So it's kind of like that's all great, you know what I'm saying, and everything. But I kind of wish we got to see more like Luna Freya. And like they were gonna do an on the Dragon Slayer. What's her face? I forgot what her face was. The one with the white hair. The Dragoon. The Dragoon. Sorry, that was I can't say that word. So I don't know. I was kind of interested to see what direction they're gonna take it, but now we'll never know because it's canceled. It's a shame, but nothing we can do about it. I just hope for the best for that team. I hope for the best for Square Enix because I don't know, man. It's kind of like they went up, like Final Fantasy, like just generation in general. Like they went up with Final Fantasy 15, and like they released all this DLC, and it was like the best-selling Final Fantasy game ever. And then they announced 7 remake, and like that was great. And now Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to come out, and everybody wants that, right? But, like, at the same time, a lot of shit's gone down where, like, Final Fantasy 7 Remake is not going to come out until we're all 80 years old. And also, like, Final Fantasy 16 is probably not going to come out until at least, 2022, 2023 at this point. So it's kind of like, I don't know. They did well for the now, but for the future, it doesn't look so hot. So, I don't know. Interesting.
I mean, I'm not gonna think that they're in trouble until they just, stop making games.
Right.
It takes a lot for, game companies to be in real trouble. So,
right.
I think that Square Enix will still be good for a while. I mean, of course, we have Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out soon, and a shitload of people are getting that, so...
that game's going to sell like hotcakes. It's going to sell like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to print money for them. So, they have nothing to worry about.
If they disappoint in that aspect, then they would be in trouble.
Right. Oh, yeah.
They cannot do that.
Oh, definitely. Without a doubt. I mean, I've been looking forward to this game for like 10 years.
I
Jesus
know.
Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, since I was, like, I think I was in elementary school. That's how long I've been waiting for this goddamn game to come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, like, so long. So, or it must have been middle school. So it's just, they better not disappoint. Square Enix, you better not disappoint. Kingdom Hearts 3.
People are going to riot if they do.
Yes.
I know that.
They definitely will. So, don't screw up. Okay, anyway, moving on. Topic of the show. We decided to kind of take a break from things and just kind of wind down and relax. Recline in our comfy chairs and think about the games that we're just really thankful for, you know? Just really thankful for, man. These are the games that we're really kind of happy that someone made. If not because they kind of inspired us to play games, just because the developers try to do something new, and we appreciate the effort. I guess I'll start us off. The game that I chose that I'm very thankful for this season is Brutal Legend. This game was made, I don't know, 5 years ago now? 5 or 6 years ago now. It was for PS3 and Xbox 360. It basically stars Jack Black as a roadie, and he's magically transported into this mythical world of heavy metal monsters, heavy metal people, and it's basically like you go around in this world and there's like this whole plot and everything, and you're the son of, I don't know if that's spoilers or not, I don't remember. It's like a really old game. It's an old game at this point, so you should probably know. And there are also cameos by Ozzy Osbourne, and I think Dio's in it. It's just really crazy. And you could play like all of these awesome heavy metal tracks from your buggy. I don't know, man. It's just one of those games that make you go, this is a pretty imaginative piece of work, and I really appreciate, all the effort that Tim Schafer and his team put into it, because it just shows like what video games can do. Like, they could really do anything. You know what I'm saying? Have you guys played Brutal Legend?
I haven't, no.
No?
I haven't either, but of course I've seen all the commercials for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty wild game. The gameplay isn't the best, admittedly, but I just love it because of the world and the fantasy kind of building of it. It's a little hokey, but like, I like metal and I like that type of music, so it's a little indulgent on my part, but it's just this awesome kind of, and it's like everything's like different subgenres are represented throughout the world. So like you have like the industrial world, and then like the industrial goth world, and like you have like the little like new metal. It's just like different. It's so cool. If you understand metal, then like it's a cool homage to the genre. But otherwise, you'd probably just be like, what the hell is this? Like you wouldn't understand it. But yeah, really cool. Very thankful for that game. Lindsay, what game are you thankful for?
Okay, so I haven't played this game in a few years, but I always wound up playing it around this time of the year, Thanksgiving and such. It's an amazing game, has like everything I could ever look for in a game. It's Terraria. I have it on both PC and Xbox 360. I spent, I don't know, like 20, 30 hours waiting around, killing this one monster. I can't remember what it was like. It was like a flying bird type monster in the sky. Like, I just built my home up there so I could keep killing it and eventually get a banner.
A wyvern.
Yeah, it was a wyvern. I fucking love that game.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, Tim, you know that game.
Getting the wyvern banner was like 0.5% chance.
Oh, wow.
And I took like 30 hours just to get it.
Wow. Well, I can't speak to the game. I can't really speak to it. I haven't played it. But it's 8-bit style, right? Or 16-bit style? I don't know.
It was, yeah. I guess it was like 16-bit.
16-bit. Okay. Is it so? It's kind of like an RPG.
Yeah, it's like RPG, but it also has crafting elements to it.
That's cool.
So it's also like Minecraft.
Yeah, you don't have to explain it to me. I Tim probably knows a lot more than I do.
So much.
Yeah. And I suppose it's creative too, because you reference Minecraft. That's cool. It's really cool.
It's obviously it has its completionist aspects to it. I'm looking up right now the drop rate of the banner. Let me see. They might have updated it because it might be after 50 kills now. But when I was playing it, it was like a 0.5%.
Oh, jeez.
Chance.
Wow. Tim,
I remember. I was trying. There's this one gun that shoots coins.
Oh.
You only get it from the pirates, and I really wanted it, but it that also has or at least it had at the time, a very bad drop rate. I just was collecting the summon you needed to summon the event and just trying to get that. Finally got it, but so long. But it was worth it.
Wow.
And it looks like it is in the latest update. Version 1.301. No longer drops randomly, instead after every 50 kills. So I guess I just wasted 30 hours back then.
But you know what? The reward was worth it.
I think my file's gone though. I gotta check.
Tim, what were you gonna say?
Because
Sorry.
I was playing on my ex's file, on my ex's world. So.
Oh, I see.
Sucks for me, but I'll have to get back into it again and go through everything.
That's cool though. Like a creative game that you could pour so much time into. Can't say I do a lot of those
300 hours into it, I think.
300. Oh, that's a lot. Oh my god.
That was over several summers.
Oh,
mainly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sorry, I was just gonna say I'm nearing 1,000 hours on that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god. I almost died just hearing that. 1,000 hours.
Some people especially in particular esports people, they've got 20 times that.
Yeah.
And I'm how? What? I mean, I guess you just play that. You play that exclusively, I guess. Do that, but jeez.
That makes me just want to lie down and just go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? That just makes me feel so tired. 20,000 hours in the game. Oh god. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's my entire life force. It's like my entire lifetime. I only have 20,000 hours left to live. I don't know where I'm going with that, but Jesus, that's a lot of time. Wow.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who looks at that as a feat.
Well, no, it is. It definitely is. It's impressive. It's impressive as all hell. I'll never be able to do that. But to whomever does that, to Lindsay, to Tim, to anyone who's listening to this, I salute you. You guys, you're dedicated dudes. I wish I had that kind of motivation to keep going and going. That's awesome. Anyway, Tim, what was the game that you're thankful for this season?
Well, sort of in the same sort of vein. Went with Minecraft, actually.
Oh, okay.
I got it back when I was a wee bad in high school, which was 7 years ago. 7.
Yeah.
And I really like and I enjoy creating, making things. They've continually added new things to the game, really fleshed it out into something pretty unique. I mean, to the point where at the time, tons of people and developers were like copying it, like making clones,
Of course.
to replicate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's I think probably my favorite part is there's like a coding language, like sort of in the game. Like there's different commands you can use, and you can. They've introduced ways to like actually make functions and like coding scripts, so you can basically make. They basically made an environment where you can make mods for the game, except it's like technically vanilla. Like you're not actually changing the game's like code.
I see.
But
Interesting.
You can add different add your own custom content to the game, which I've been doing for a few years now, and it's
Oh, have you really?
probably my favorite part.
That's pretty
What's that?
cool. That's pretty cool. What have you like contributed to it?
A number of things. I'm trying to think. Recently, I made. It was like St. Patrick's Day. It was March that time of year, so I made like a modification where after it rains in the game, there's a chance that a rainbow will spawn, and then at the end of it, you can find a pot of gold, like a band of hostile leprechauns, and you can like fight them, and you can loot their pot of gold.
Dude, that's
Get stuff
awesome. That's awesome.
Cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So it's pretty robust in what it allows you to do, and it lets me flex a bunch of different things that I learned from college. I majored in game design.
Oh, did you?
College, so
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
yeah. So I get to practice some of those things that I haven't been making use of. I really enjoyed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tim, I learned so much of you, and like, that's awesome. That's cool, dude. Wow. So, wow. Okay. I'm still wrapping my head around the leprechaun thing. I don't even know how you pull that off. That's awesome. So like a rainbow would appear, and like the players would just go to the end of the rainbow, and they'd find a bunch of leprechauns. That's so cool. Wow. And would they like? Are they like creepers, or like
What's that?
what are they based off of an existing enemy, or like they're something entirely new?
So they're baby zombie pigmen.
Oh.
And
Oh my
I
gosh.
made some custom textures and like a custom model. So I have them like in little leprechaun outfit, and that I made a hat and beard that they wear.
That's so cool, dude.
So they're like little tiny people that like chase after you.
That's
and they're,
freaking
like, really fast,
awesome.
and I made like custom sound effects for them, so they like laugh and giggle at you, and like chastise you and
Are you serious?
just bother you.
Dude, that's so freaking cool, dude. That's awesome. Why didn't you tell me this, dude? This is awesome.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's awesome. I don't know.
I am now.
I'm so excited. No, I'm serious. Like that's awesome. That's something like when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna design games too. But I'm happy that someone went and I assume that when you were a kid, you wanted to design games ever since then too, right?
For a while, I actually wanted to do something with writing.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
An author, and to that point, I majored in game design, and then I specialized in interactive storytelling.
Oh.
So that
Where'd you go to
kind of-
school?
Southern New Hampshire University.
Southern New
SNHU.
Hampshire University. Huh. I didn't even know they had that there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Been there. Yeah.
That's
You've maybe probably seen, I don't know, they have a big online presence, like for the online courses you can take.
yeah.
They run a lot of ads for that.
I mean, when I was looking for colleges way back when, 100 years ago, I wanted to do I wanted to do that. I wanted to do game design, but it was just I couldn't find anything around me in New York City. There was a really handful of schools, and then I would have to go to like New Jersey, or I'd have to go somewhere, I don't know, far away. So I just settled on writing, and that's what I do now. I'm a writer. I'm a publicist in my day job.
Yeah, similarly, I wanted to go into game design.
Yeah.
But I was venturing into math and all that in college, and it was way too difficult for me to keep up grades. And I heard horror stories of all my friends taking so much longer to graduate because they couldn't pass the math courses and such. So I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna just go into writing.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I didn't have to do that. I mean, I took a gen ed calculus course, which I was terrible at, but other than that, it was just more focused on other things.
That's cool.
It wasn't math intensive.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I might look into that for online courses or something. That's because I always wanted to still want to do it. You know what I'm saying? On the side.
That's the same thing for me. I still consider doing it with Khan Academy or something.
Yeah, exactly. Just doing it on my own pace kind of thing, just on my free time, my copious free time, amounts of free time, because I have no time. But just eventually. That's so cool. That's awesome. That's really cool. And I totally understand. Linking it back to the topic of the show, totally understand why you would be thankful for that, because and you and many other aspiring game developers, because it's an outlet, right, to kind of showcase your skills in a way.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah,
I like being able to, because I actually I took a number of different courses. I did animation, modeling, texturing, and I actually enjoyed majority of all that, but just since then I haven't really had an opportunity to make use of that kind of stuff, but this kind of funnily puts it all into one, and I do get to do those things again. I'm like, oh, I remember this. I remember how to stuff.
Right.
Do UV maps. That's really cool.
Right,
use that information,
and you practice, and you build your portfolio too. That's just so cool. That's awesome. All right.
I mean, I'm just an interesting person in general. Oh,
huh? Sorry.
Did you get?
I didn't catch that. What did he say, Lindsay? What did he say?
I was just saying how interesting I am, which I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, you are. I mean, I think you're super interesting. I think that was awesome. I mean, I kind of wish I knew it sooner. Now I praise you.
Yes. Praise me.
No, you're awesome before. Now you're awesome before. Now you're even you're even more awesome somehow. That's so cool. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up for this episode of the Bits and Bytes podcast. Again, I'm your host, David Lozada. You can find me on Twitter at XenoCreator125. Lindsay Schubert's here. You can find her on Twitter at InfamousRedYoshi. And of course, Tim Ronin's here. You can find him on Keen Gamer, always writing as usual. Thank you again for joining us for another exciting episode. See you again next week, and have a very thankful season. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.